So this book is called Lies My Teacher Told Me, Everything Your American History Textbook Got Wrong. It has some great information for Americans that aren't very well educated, which are most Americans, about some of our leaders, how they just weren't quite as wonderful as our textbooks like to gloss over. Even, Woodrow Wilson was not as good as a person as a lot of people seem to think. And Helen Keller wasn't perfect either. But Helen Keller says this: people do not like to think. If one thinks, one must reach conclusions. Helen Keller pointed out, conclusions are not always pleasant. Most of us automatically shy away from conflict, and understandably so. We particularly seek to avoid conflict in the classroom. One reason is habit. We are so accustomed to blandness that the textbook or teacher who brought real intellectual controversy into the classroom would strike us as a violation of polite rhetoric, of classroom norms. We are supposed to speak well of the deceased, after all. Probably we are supposed to maintain the same attitude of awe, reverence, and respect when we read about our national heroes as when we visit our national cathedral and view the final resting places of Helen Keller and Woodrow Wilson, as close physically in death as they were distant ideologically in life. So, humans are not perfect. I don't know a perfect human on this earth. Judges, oh no, look at that one. That's a New England, the Aztecs depicting smallpox. It has a little chapter in here about the Black Plague and chickenpox and influenza. And now in 2020, people are dying once again from influenza. And we have a president trying to blame it on the Chinese. And our election, it's time for another election. I recommend reading this book to people. I was able to take a Native American Studies class when I was working my associate's degree, and that opened my eyes up to a lot of the lies that I was taught when I was growing up. And as a little kid going to school, everything in history was taught from a white European-centric viewpoint. And so as a lifelong Oregonian, I've got an Oregonian viewpoint, and Oregon is not as pristine, and there's a lot of duplicity and double standards and corruption in Oregon, in our politics and lawmakers and our judges and the lawyers. So these parties, everybody likes to party. The Constitution Party is fun. Yep. Based in the Bible, for sure. They want freedom from tyranny, yet the Bible is pretty tyrannical in many ways. Everyone's vying for their, the Democratic Party all sounds good. Reproductive freedom, civil rights with those living with disabilities, LGBTQ plus rights, gun safety measures, racial and gender equality. There's no equality. I'm not an equal. I don't have equal access to my children. I don't have equal access to lawyers because I don't have the money. I'm socially poor. But I'm independent. I'm an independent thinker. I oppose inefficient government programs. That's why we're out planting a victory garden, because we're going through another Great Depression. So now it's time to plant a garden. In the Libertarian Party, we all want to have liberties, the right to life, the right to liberty of speech and action, the right to property. So be a libertarian, or be a Pacific Green Party. That's good too, because if we don't have the environment, if we don't have a healthy environment, we can't have healthy humans. And everybody wants progressive parties because we should be progressive. Better, better, better. More. Progress, not perfection. But they have a lot of list here of things. They oppose wars, and they want to repair, improve, and oppose Wall Street bailouts. Oppose offshore oil and gas drilling. This is good too, and require labeling of genetically engineered foods. So this is all good too. And then the Republican Party is for the elitists that make lots of money, but they usually are gun toters. And there's some KKK people that lurk in the Republican Party. There's probably some, I don't know if there's any KKK people that lurk in the Progressive Party. There's probably some KKK people that lurk in the Democratic Party. Guarantee you there's some in the Constitution Party. I'm pretty sure of it. So anyways, there's your choices. So I hope you have fun partying, or whatever you like to do.